Hi Leos, and welcome to your January 2019 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. You're looking really beautiful in this month, Leo, with a lot of stark and impressive situations and circumstances heading your way. There are possibilities for everything. Like, your possibilities to me in January feel really endless, as I think the Capricorn time really does something good for you. It really builds you out of something that you'd been insecure about for a while. I sense that Leo's insecurities are very much handled this month, and you might see them come more to the surface, or things which feel like they're triggering insecurities could be coming up, but I feel that it's worked through in this month, and I feel that this month is so healing for you through some of that you're facing, and I feel that you're being introduced to the right people and the right things in the right places as well, through potentially, having a few things fall through or having a few things come up. I mean, you have some traditionally really beautiful, really positive energies, and also more negative ones. You've got the Ten of Swords, you've got Ten of Wands. It's kind of hard, Five of Pentacles. But then you've got the Two of Cups, you've got the Star, you've got Four of Swords, which I feel to be very positive for you, and Eight of Pentacles, which says to me there's so much to count your blessings for, and so much to work through and heal from as well. So let's talk about it all, Leo. Let's talk about what you're coming from December. I think that you are spending your energy a bit frivolously. There's definitely a calling in January to rest something that has been overactive. I'm sensing for some of you, your emotions have just been really getting the better of you, no doubt. My phone just went off, so I'm going to silence that, but I always take that as a sign that the message that I'm giving right now is important. So yeah, the emotions are on hyperdrive. I feel like for a lot of you are really feeling everything strongly. I also think your senses in general are kind of frazzled. I'm feeling your sight and hearing and sense of smell and sense of touch are all very sensitive right now. So perhaps some of you are pregnant. To me, it feels very hormonal. Maybe some of you are having an endocrine issue, like a thyroid problem or an adrenal problem that's really amping up your sensory perception. That's something that I do feel kind of has to be solved in the month of January, and something that maybe you've been struggling with for the entirety of 2018. As Jupiter was in Scorpio, which made it a very good environment for succumbing to some kind of endocrine problem, but now moving into Jupiter and Sag, it's much easier to heal from this type of thing. So definitely focus on your body and focus on your health first and foremost in January. That to me feels to be the most important thing for all Leos. Also a good month to be focusing on what you're creating, what you're making. Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Ten of Wands. There's this, and the Star. There's a sense of alchemy. There's a sense of forging something and creating something to give to someone else, and carrying a lot of weight for that, and maybe sacrificing a lot for that. So some of you may be tending to martyr yourself. Some of you may be tending to be the underdog, or feeling like you're having to hold up the team, or being the backbone of the team or something. So that could be how you feel in relationships or in your career right now. And this is such an important month for you to be held by someone else. Four of Swords is your central theme. It's so perfect for you. You have to be held by something. You have to lay on something. You have to rest on something. So now is a time to find your support network. Now is a time to, maybe ask a favor of someone, or to rely on someone who's relied on you. If you're feeling ill, text that friend who you're always helping out. Can you stop by the grocery store for me? Can you walk my dogs, whatever it is. And it's going to feel really nice to maybe have a sense of support. And it's people are really happy. People are really happy to help you out. During this time, it feels like Leo is very easily helped. So take advantage of that, and take advantage of being able to take a bit of time to yourself and a bit of time in reflection. I know you've kind of had that over the last year quite a lot, but this is different. This is a different kind. This isn't, just laying in bed and being worried and what am I going to do? I'm resting, but I'm still on edge. This is truly, letting go of what's keeping you on edge. And you can do that while you're working. You can do that while you're driving. You can do that at any time. It doesn't have to be in bed, but it's more important to be letting your emotions rest than it is to be resting your body. Although both are, indicated here with this energy. It's also, for those of you who are in relationships, really important not to seek your identity only in your relationships, okay? That Two of Cups and Ten of Swords energy together jumps out at me before anything else does in the reading, and it says to me that you are constructing your identity within the presence of someone else in your life, so it's almost as if to lose something like that, you wouldn't really know what to do with yourself, things would be very imperceptible, things would be difficult to cope with, so watch out for setting up codependent ties. It's easy right now for you, and it probably happened throughout all of 2018 for those of you who've been in a relationship for a while, and it's going to be really important to find yourself within this. It's going to be really important to not have a death grasp on those around you. It does feel like you can perhaps be a little bit clingy as well, and it feels like it's hard for Leo to accept choices that others make for themselves if they're like really close to Leo. So you're in a relationship, it might be hard to accept that that person needs time with themselves, or it might be hard to accept that you wanted to spend an evening with them and this person said they were tired, but you like later learned that they didn't even go to sleep or something and they were just like doing their own thing for a while, and you start to think, okay, they just didn't actually want to be around me, so they made up an excuse, and there's like a lot of that type of thing going on, and it hinges on your own insecurity and your own fear and your own sense of terror, because I do feel like there's been a sense of terror actually for Leo lately. I don't want to downplay what you've been through, but due to that, there's this transmutation happening of that fear, insecurity, and terror actually into like arousal and libido. It can be for some of you. So some of you are getting a sense of intimacy with your own fear, and you're letting fear be a catalyst of that which you enjoy. So yes, you can see that things that you're scared of in your relationship, like distance, or like, oh my gosh, is this person cheating, or is this person's needs not being met and they're not telling me? Like, all of these things can come up really easily if you're like grasping too much, or if you're not seeing that there are any other options other than this, you know, that type of thing. You've been there before, but I also feel you to be completely able to transcend that. And it's not a matter of breaking up. It's not well, for some of you it might be. I can't speak for everyone, but it doesn't feel like things are too far gone. It doesn't feel like things are past the point of saving for many of you. And for those of you who that is the case, this is a month where you can truly transcend this and find the honesty and find the connection and find the middle ground. I feel compromise to be very possible through letting your emotions rest a little bit. And it's only going to be a you thing, Leo. That's the thing. You can't really change this other person, or you can't really change their actions or behaviors. You can inspire them. You can inspire creativity and connection with them. But the problem is not necessarily in them. It's within you. It's within your emotional reaction, and it's also within your perhaps nature right now, which is kind of odd to grasp onto things which you kind of know don't fit. So like square peg in a round hole. I do feel that to be the case for some of you with some of your relationships, and you know that too. Yet you're trying to like alchemize this square peg to become a round one, if you know what I mean, and you're getting like really frustrated that that's not working. Okay, so we got to sit with that. We got to think about that, and we've got to think, okay, do I need to make it my life's mission to do like alchemy here, to like change someone so extremely and so much that it fits what I need? Okay, very fixed there. You're being in your fixed nature, which of course is natural for you, to make what you have work, versus thinking that it's disposable, or thinking, okay, so this isn't quite working, I'm going to shift my sights somewhere else. Some of you do need to shift your sights. Some of you are hanging on to something for too long. 10 of Wands reversed and 10 of Swords reversed says to me that we're not allowing an ending, we're not allowing a breakup, or we're not allowing ourselves to stop the job, which is inevitably a problem for us. That's actually a lower percentage of you, as I feel that for the other side of you guys that are like trying to fix things and like you know that this can work out and you can overcome it, I feel them to only represent your own volatilities that have been wanting to let go for a long time, that you keep holding on to because you associate them with security. And kind of not allowing yourself to see the humor, honesty, and connection that can be here. Like Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles, King of Cups, the Star. Like, there's a lot of opportunity for beautiful connection in the month of January for Leo. What you're dealing with right now, Leo, on a grander scheme, is that really crazy solar eclipse that we had last summer. We had that Plutonian solar eclipse, and then The summer before that, we also had the grand solar eclipse, like the grand American solar eclipse, which was in your sign. And that I saw a shift in Leo ever since then, and it's still not quite gone. That's undeveloping itself here in January. And leading up to March, I feel by March you've come out of that paradigm slightly, not all of you, but because it was so potent for you and it really ignited something within you that took till about like February of 2018 to really emerge. So we're talking from summer 2017 to February 2018, it emerged, and then it built throughout all of 2018, and then here we are at the end of 2018, and it's undeveloping itself. So compare that to what's been going on in your life, what's emerged within you, and is now starting to take more of a back seat. And I'll talk more about this in my 2019 year ahead because this is more of a long-term thing. Those videos should be available soon after the new year. So depending on when you're watching this, they may and may not be available now. I'll put it in the description box below. I think they're going to be really great. I hope you guys are excited. Anyway, before I lose my train of thought, you're dealing with that timeline of these solar eclipses. And it's scary to watch something be eclipsed out and for something else to take its place sometimes. Like, we don't always know what that is. And I just sense a little bit of fear in Leo to not really know what's there, like a kind of a fear of the void or fear of, not knowing. You're a more investigative sign than sometimes people give you credit for. Actually, a little bit scorpionic. Like, there's a similarity between Scorpio and Leo in how they're wired and how they navigate their lives. And you are very scorpionic right now. I do feel that. I feel that one thing that has to be looked at for Leo, and I don't tend to talk about this in my videos because I try to be very appropriate. So yes, I don't know if this video will get flagged or what, we will see. But I don't care because it needs to come out. So, hashtag demonetized. You can send me donations below if this helps. But I do feel like your libido is something that has to be checked during this time and kept on check. I felt this for a few other signs as well, but it didn't feel like as important to come out, so I hinted around it. But your desires and your sexual energies right now, root chakra energies, can be to your demise if not careful. It feels like a lot of your energy is being consumed through that. It feels like a lot of your energy is being really constricted and released in this very pressurized and deconstructed way, and it's too much to handle. So some of you are just again, I'm feeling a hormonal thing for some of you, so either there's nothing there or it's overwhelming. So try to not worry too much about it. I feel that it works itself out, but when that happens, it has a complete and total effect on your body. When any chakra is out of place, it has a complete effect, but especially root chakra, solar plexus, throat, crown, it tends to go in these double lines. But you can see that other people aren't meeting your needs in matters of libido. You can see that you can't seem to find compatibility with that during this time. You can also see that there's a bit of manic nature that comes out on account of that. You can see that unchanneled energy becomes anger or rage or fear or insecurities. And you can see yourself try to, and this is the root of it, you can see yourself trying to transmute the fear, insecurity, and stuff into that libido energy, and then it tries to release itself, and it tries to disguise that release as a releasing of the fear, but that's not actually what happens because it's not actually been addressed. So there's this tricky thing going on in your body, and it's because of that extremely tricky Mercury retrograde we had over December in Sagittarius back into Scorpio, with Jupiter right there on that cusp, feeding it fuel and fire. That was a tricky energy. That was a gestury, trickstery type of energy. So a lot of things dealing with Scorpio and Sagittarius energies. So yes, root chakra, libido, investigation, fun, enjoyment, higher learning, all of those things got really scattered up and arranged in this weird tricky puzzly type of scenario, and that's needing to be fixed and worked on. 8 of Pentacles in the month of January for you, Leo. I love it because you're going to be coming through that, you're going to be overcoming that, and you're going to be meeting it halfway, meeting yourself halfway. 2 of Cups, it could be meeting a soulmate, it could be beautiful people coming in, it could be a relationship coming to the next level, but I feel it first and foremost to be you meeting yourself and understanding what your needs are and understanding how that can be articulated and conveyed to the people around you with whom it matters. which I think is just so beautiful for you. It's been hard for Leo to meet themselves. It's been easy for you to meet other people halfway, but not so easy to meet yourself halfway. You've had a lot of sleepless nights because of that, I know. Let's go ahead and talk about the week-to-week Leos. This reading's already really long. In the first week of January, you have Eight of Pentacles rooted down by the Star reversed. So yeah, building your health. Maybe, hopefully maybe you've been to the doctor before then if you've been having health problems. Hopefully you've kind of gotten an idea of what you need to do. If not, just listen to your body. It will tell you what it needs. Maybe finding some sunlight could be good, because Leo needs sun. It is that time of the year, at least in the northern hemisphere, where it is quite rainy and cold and snowy for some of you, and very overcast. But, getting some sunlight will be important if you can. Also, making something, creating something new, doing something new with yourself, or like a labor of love that you've been working on for a long time and maybe took a break from. Good to come back to it. Eight of Pentacles is like a master crafting energy. So crafting your 2019 from January could be really, really nice. New Year's resolutions don't feel too bad for you this time around. Speaking of crafting 2019, make sure you check out my Patreon page. That'll be in the description box below for sure, and maybe linked up in the top right-hand corner as well. And you can craft your 2019 there as well. I am doing a lot of new things there, and it's just a subscription service that helps you to do exactly that. And you are, regardless, Leo, crafting something in the first week. So focus your efforts on that. Focus your efforts on crafting, and focus your efforts on becoming vulnerable once more, on becoming vulnerable to yourself once more. I think that you're walled off from yourself. You're like, your own body is unwilling to accept something, or your own mindset. The star is reversed. It's not satiated. It's not hydrated. There's a sense of like your body not absorbing things correctly. So putting that into the upright, with it being connected to Eight of Pentacles, deals with crafting the reality that you've needed for a long time. So making your environment vulnerably yours, making your environment something that you want to be in with no regrets, okay? To whatever degree you can. I know it's easier said than done, but week number 2, you have Two of Pentacles rooted down by Five of Pentacles. They're both reversed. Interestingly, so many matching numbers this month. I've been having so many 3 cards in the third week and so many 2 cards in the second week. So many aces in the first week. To me, that's a good synchronicity that hopefully my readings are accurately being laid. So in the second week, it's important to think about how you're spending, whether that be money or energy. That's all that the second week is really about. It could also be a choice. And I think it's like a choice, like, okay, am I going to buy the new house, the new car, the new whatever, to embrace the new year? Some of you, that's very supportive. For most of you, it's more supported to rethink, or to even second guess a little bit what your spending habits are. Again, with that Four of Swords, like we were talking about, it's important in that week and in this entire month to not overspend of yourself, to not overspend the emotions, to not overspend the money, all of those things. So keep an eye on what your spending is like, of all varieties. Also, Five of Pentacles reverse represents to me that we might be making this harder on ourselves than it has to be. So the road that we're walking, or the path that we're on, there's something warm right there. There's something warm and available and satiating right there. But we're not looking at it. We're not giving it the time of day. We're preferring to walk in the cold. So that's reversed. I think you're seeing that. You're going to see very clearly that that's what you're doing, if that's what you're doing. And I think that it's easy to make the choice to embrace that which can warm you up, and that which is healthy and right for you. So it's not saying to succumb to some kind of addiction, or to succumb to anything that feels nice in a split second. This is like the true long term. This is like what's good for you in the long run. Because in the third week, you have Two of Cups rooted down by Ten of Swords reversed. Try to not fear authentic connection. There's something about having gotten to this point with somebody, with a relationship, with yourself. Like, Leo is at a vantage point that they've never been to before in the third week of January, and it scares you. Some of you finally have like a relationship that fulfills you in a way that you haven't had it before. Some of you have like a career that makes a salary that you never anticipated you'd be able to have in your life. There's some degree of like having something, and it feels to me like a bit Gollum-ish. Like you're like, my precious, like, and you're really afraid to let go of it. You're afraid of it being taken from you. Ten of Swords reversed to me can represent a fear of betrayal. Not even necessarily that betrayal is present. For some of you it may be, but it's like fearing it more so than it actually being present, like being really scared of losing something. So I want you to see that, and I want you to see that because they're very incompatible energies, Two of Cups and Ten of Swords, which was what leads me to think that this is more psychosemantic than what is like actually going on. Like it's more of a cycle and like something that you go through than it is like the other person actually betraying you. Because Two of Cups is not a betraying energy. Two of Cups is a connecting energy and an honoring energy and an understanding flowing energy, and it's too early. Like with Two of Cups, there is no such thing as betrayal because there's nothing to be betrayed. Two of Cups is still the honeymoon phase. Two of Cups is still the beginning. Two of Cups is the point where nothing too huge is on the line. So to fear betrayal at this point in time, with whichever situation it is more of a need to feel fear than it is actual potential betrayal on the line. So really strive during that time in the third week to have a sense of clarity about what could be a fear more so than an actual problem. It's not to say that real problems can't exist. It's not to say that betrayal can't exist, but it's not coming from where you think it is. If it is there, it's not from this person. It's not from this. It's not from the new thing. It's not from the new thing. It's from an old thing. If betrayal is there, if that makes sense. Also, is there just a fear of not being betrayed? Like, oh my gosh, what if this relationship actually ends up being what I wanted it to be? Like, can I handle truth? Can I handle honesty? Honesty is a big concept, what I feel with that energy. Like, am I ready to hear the truth? Am I ready to have honesty? Am I ready to have someone who commits to me and is vulnerable with me? Or does it scare me? Does it make me afraid to lose it? All of those are important questions, Leo. I know it's kind of gross, but at the same time, doesn't it feel empowering to have these types of conversations with yourself? I really think it does. And I'm a Leo rising. You guys have to remember, I'm with y'all. I'm a Leo rising, and I know it's been a bit of a crazy time for us. We've gotten so much, but at the same time, we've really had to measure that as it's come in. So, week number 4, you have King of Cups rooted down by 10 of Wands reversed. Again, being too emotional, King of Cups, and like succumbing to emotions or succumbing to like instant emotional thoughts can be like way too heavy right now. Like 10 of Wands reversed says to me that the weight that you're carrying is too heavy. It can also say that you're making it heavier than it has to be. So and in fact, that's more so it. So on one hand, to have the emotional burden that you have right now is too much. But the reason that it is too much is because the emotions have been over sensitized and like our sensory perception is very hyper right now. So there's also a possibility of making an emotion that, yes, is hurtful become something that is not, you can't hardly survive it, you know? So try to take your own emotions with a grain of salt while honoring them, finding that balance. And also, try to not let other people's words or actions that are like small be something that is like life altering for you. So like you're in the new relationship or whatever, or you're in the old relationship, whatever it is. And you see like, again, I'll use the same example as last time. You see that this person, maybe wasn't completely honest, or maybe they said, okay, I'm really tired, I want to go to bed, so let's get off the phone, or let's call it a night. And then like 2 hours later you see them like still up or something, and it starts to like eat at you, and you're like, okay, that person just didn't want me there. It's not that they wanted to sleep, it's that they just didn't want to share the space with me. And that can be something that like affects your income for like the next year by like thousands upon thousands of dollars, because you need time to like recuperate from that. Beware, Leo, beware, please, I'm begging you. Leo. It's weird how things can kind of jump from sector to sector like that. You can see an emotional situation like that really affect your career, really affect your income. Like you don't try as hard because you're trying to become and flesh yourself out to be something that like other people always want to be around. And what you have to understand as well, especially if you saw something like this in December, or, you know, like I know that, again, we're talking like sexual traumas as well during that time. I know that's been the case for some of you. I just feel it. So we're talking like, yes, potentially like having been cheated on. Not many of you, actually. It's like smaller. It's not something that's gigantic for most of you. Okay, it's something small. Like maybe the person said that or the person you're in a relationship with said, I'm not in the mood and I don't want you. And then you learn that they just like got themselves off like right after you left. Yeah, probably like TMI, but this is what I'm feeling, you guys. I just have to like speak about it, like, and I need to like be specific with that because that's something that Leo has to like get out of their own heads with and like try to not worry about things like that. Sometimes like people's moods just shift, and sometimes it doesn't mean that they're being dishonest with you. It doesn't mean that they don't like you. It just means that maybe they can't vulnerably be with you. Like maybe they can't. Maybe it's impossible. Maybe your connection with them is so bright and so like young or so connected with that Two of Cups energy that there's a fear of like coming off like in an embarrassing way or something. And it's like that people might be feeling like you're too like looming, you're too big, you're too vast, you're too great, and they feel like they can't give you what you want, so it kind of scares them off a little bit. Or maybe they don't feel like you're succumbing to what they need, and there's a lot of that type of thing here, Leo. And I'm happy that it's come up for you. I'm happy that I'm getting it all out there, despite this video probably having been flagged and demonetized, but that's okay, because it's important. Like, this is an important thing that I know that you've been going through, and it's really hit your ego. It's really hit your pride. I mean, a lot of Leos haven't felt so attractive lately, or haven't felt like they have like a potency. And it's interesting. I didn't know that it was like the Leo side of the zodiac that this was actually channeling through. I was feeling like more of like a Scorpio or Cancer or, you know, just watery energy that was channeling through, but it's actually coming through from y'all. And I do feel it to be collective as well. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shift subjects. I don't like to talk too much about like psychosexual things on YouTube just because it is actually against their monetization policies. And again, like I'm probably going to put up like an 18 or older like content warning, and that'll probably like get me like way less views, all that kind of stuff, but I don't care, just because again, like if this is something that you're struggling with, like book a private reading with me. And like that's actually one of my favorite things to work with one-on-one, is like sexual trauma. And I'm not, it's something that is very natural to me to like work through, and actually one of the easiest ones for me to work through. So that link is below if you would like to speak more about that, because I know that's a big part of like what Leo is going through right now. And comment below if you would like more like videos or content about that. I can figure something out. Like I can, you know, like restrict them, make them 18 or older, or I can like put them on Patreon or something. Just let me know. Also, I think I already mentioned my Patreon page, but like that would be a good place for that as well. But check that out as well. It's in the description box. Again, Leo, Four of Swords is your central theme. Important for your libido to like rest a little bit as well. Important for you to not be like activating your body, like the hormonal systems and the nervous systems in your body need a little bit of a break and like building here. So like maybe taking vitamins that support those types of things, or you know, not staying up all night long and like getting your circadian rhythms all out of whack. The nerves and hormones just feel like burnt a little bit and feel like shocked. So letting your body rest is the most important thing right now. And surrounding yourself with the types of people who don't trigger those like fight or flight responses to the same degree is important, is very important. Because this is a crossroads, transformational, changing type of reading for you. And as for my concluding message in this reading, as it's all kind of culminated together and come together, I hope it's all made sense. Don't treat people or jobs or whatever it is in your life with a sense of like irreplaceability. Too much value in people or like fear of losing things is the source of what is currently building and developing in you, and where some of this pain is coming from is because there's a strong sense of fear in being abandonment fear, and not having support. There's a strong fear of not having support. So growing the trust within yourself, learning how to operate without too much reliance on others, but giving yourself a little bit of that as well. Just not treating it in a way as if you're like extremely scared to lose it. And there's something else that wants to come up within that. I'm trying to understand what it is. Please just do whatever you can to not be up in the middle of the night trembling and shaking in fear that something's going on that you don't know about, or that you're not going to be able to get through your day, or that you're not going to be able to do what's set out for you. That is the biggest enemy right now, Leo, is the silence within yourself in moments where you're not having to face other people, and trembling and being fearful and worrying, and then like losing sleep and not getting rest, and the chemicals in the body go haywire. That is the most important thing for you to heal from. Allow yourself rest, like be able to click in your body, like when it's time to start shutting down, when it's time to no longer worry. It feels like you're a bit out of control with that, and it could be a lot worse. Like, I'm happy that the devil isn't here. I'm happy that the tower isn't here. Even like judgment or the world could like really intensify this type of thing. So it's not too far gone. But you're on a cycle to like really repeat some things, or to really find yourself having lost a lot of time or finding a lot of tears if you can't let go. So I'll like write in the description box if I think of anything else which came up, because this is such an all-encompassing reading. But it is time to move along, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. I hope you enjoyed this, Leo. I felt really vulnerably connected to you all in a way that I don't tend to feel. So I'm rooting for you. I'm wishing you all the luck in the world to overcome and transcend some of these deeper issues that you are going through. And I'm wishing you self-fulfillment and prosperity only found from within you and not being determined by other people. So much. I love you guys so much right now. I hope that you do well. Be sure to check out the description box. If this reading was good for you, you can find me on Patreon, and you can use a monthly subscription to craft your 2019. I have like new things coming with that, and it's not just a free donation like a lot of people do on Patreon, which there's nothing wrong with that. But my Patreon page is also like, you donate, but you also get exclusive things, so it's a give and take for sure. So check that out. You can get these readings early and ad-free, among other things. Also, you can find me on social media. Follow me on Instagram if you get the chance. I would like to do more with Instagram over 2019, so there will be some like new content there. Also, I have like my tarot deck, which I use on Amazon with a discount, so y'all can get that if you are wanting to learn tarot. And my Jupiter Strong products are available as well. So my shirts and my hoodies are so soft, they're so warm. All just ways to support my channel if you feel the need to do that. Also, there's a donation tab as well if that's just what you wanted to do too. This is a free product, and these readings are free, and I'm so happy to give them to you all. But they take sometimes 50 to 60 hours a month just to do this. Like, we're not even talking private readings or organizing Patreon or organizing it all like this. It's a lot, and it's sometimes a lot to keep up, but I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that you guys are actually having this experience, because this helps you get through for like a long time to come through facing this and healing this now. Anyway, we will be talking soon, Leos. Good luck. Be excited for your 2019 year ahead. Hit that subscribe button with the bell notification on so you're notified when your 2019 year ahead annual forecast comes in. They will be here after the new year. Much love. Bye.